Hi everybody. I had to check there for a minute to make sure that the recording had happened. I hope everybody's doing well. It's been a while. I ran into somebody from the church the other day and they said, Father Chris, what do you do all day with us not hanging around the church bothering you all the time? and, and I said, well, basically what I do is that I miss every last one of you. That's what happens. We've had 2 Tuesday mornings of tower time and it's been really fun. This last one was a little warmish, but we survived, and it was great to see people and to have fellowship together. And I asked them how they were feeling about things, and some people that come to tower time outside of the church are actually they have this was for some of them it was the first time they'd come out of the house since the pandemic, since the stay-at-home order first came up. Excuse me, let me pick up my dog. She always wants to be in my lap after I come home from work from a long day. And so anyway, this is Sadie. Say hey to everybody, Sadie. This is Sadie, our Pika Palm. So I was talking to them about endurance. When I was in a high school Bible study, had to memorize the whole book of James actually, and the first chapter starts out like this: "Count it all joy, my brethren." King James Version. It's easier to remember that way. "Count it all joy, my brethren, when you fall into divers temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, knowing this, that let patience have her perfect work, so that you may be complete and entire, lacking in nothing. And if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all men and women liberally, and upbraideth not." And this is actually talking about endurance. When you fall into challenges, temptations, challenges, and also that let patience have her perfect work. Patience meaning endurance as well. When you run competitively, I know you look at me and say, how's that possible that Father Chris used to run competitively, but I used to be a long distance runner. And I was always surprised at the pace with which everybody started. It's like, hey guys, don't you know that we're not going to be able to keep this pace up during the entire race? So I was waiting for them to settle into their marathon pace. And eventually we would all settle in and be able to complete the race in pretty good shape. And so I was talking to my staff, I was talking to the people out at tower time on the sidewalk, and I was saying, we started with a marathon. We had a lot of new stuff to learn to be able to continue to have church in the new way that we're doing it right now. And I said, so, I want us to be able to settle into our marathon pace, but we've got one more sprint before us, and that is getting ready for the in-person services. We're hoping to start on the first Sunday in June, which is Trinity Sunday, on June the 7th. And that's what we've been targeting, and we all know that things could change. We might not be able to do that, but that's what we're looking for. It's going to be a big outside tent service where things are more open and they're safer. But that's going to take an awful lot of work, because we also have to have teams that will sanitize all of the chairs, and will sanitize the interior of the church, because some people will be sitting inside the church. About 50 people outside, about 28 people inside, and so a total of 78 people on that first Sunday. And then on the subsequent Sundays, I've already told y'all all about this before, but our hope is to have 28 people at 2 services each on the ensuing Sundays of the month. And that's going to require sanitizing as well. And we're just trying to envision it all, make sure we do it practically. There's lots involved I've written about. But I'm looking forward to being able to see everyone. One of the things that's most important is that those people who feel immunocompromised and feel as though they cannot take the risk need to understand that they certainly are not expected to go outside and take the risk. But that's a part of what we're talking about with endurance. It's got to get old sitting inside the house all the time. So we're trying to create some opportunities for you safely to come out. We're going to have some midweek services and Saturday services with much smaller crowds, 10 or fewer people. so that we can have communion during those times as well. So as it all unfolds, we need to have endurance that comes from God, who modeled endurance for us in so many different ways. So I just wanted to get in touch and say we've been planning. To the person who asked me, what do I do all day when people aren't around to bother me? Well, I still have some counseling appointments, but mostly what we're doing is planning and calling and writing and all of those things so that we can continue to sense our community of love that we have, which is so special and I believe unique at St. George's. But stay tuned and keep hope. This is one of those beautiful Sunday afternoons right now where we got the sun shining in one spot and rain falling on another spot. It's just looking like that summer pattern. And as you know, summer can drag, but we're only at just the very beginning of what it's beginning to feel like summer. And I know that everyone is having mixed feelings, mixed emotions. The warm weather helps us, I think, in terms of the virus, and also the outdoors helps us in being able to stay safely distant from one another. But one thing that I'm really hoping is that everyone will show patience as well with the new way that we have to do things, because it's not just about us when we come together and stay safe. It's about the other people who need to know that they can count on us to love them enough to do things like wear a mask, to stay 6 feet away from other people, to do all of those things that are very inconvenient, but they speak of love. We don't want to jeopardize people, and we want those who want to venture out to know that we're going to do everything we can to keep people safe. So anyway, this is my Thursday afternoon ramble, and now the sun is shining brilliantly, and the prism of the glass that's sitting over here in front of me is about to blind me. And so I am hoping that now, as we go through the next several weeks, that our planning will be fruitful and that we can actually be together in worship. But that's, even that is not the most important thing. The most important thing is that we simply communicate with one another our love. And we don't have to do that face to face, but we are missing doing it face to face. But we want to do it wisely. We want to do it carefully. And anybody who feels like they can't venture out yet needs to know that we really do mean it when we say stay home. And we'll try to create opportunities for you to have a deep sense of community as well. All right, well, that's it for now. Hope you're doing good. I will try to get in touch with all of you as we go along. Bye.